I was suddenly having to deal with this new animal, this systemic lupus erythematosus, which I had no clue what it really means and what it was going to now do into my life progressively.
So, hi viewers, this is Beyond Conditions. I'm your host, John Marvin, and today I'm here with.
Trish Barasa, excited to take you through this series on systemic lupus erythematosus.
Yeah, so Trish, on this episode, we're going to have some challenge with the name, but yeah, what is systemic lupus erythematosus and how is it diagnosed?
Can simply just call it SLE or
SLE.
lupus to make it
Yeah.
easy for all of us. I also struggle with that word a bit.
Yeah.
So SLE is an autoimmune chronic condition. By autoimmunity, I mean your own immunity is fighting itself. So if you look at immunity as if they were guards or soldiers guarding your home, you can imagine when those guards come in to fight you instead of looking out
Protecting.
for just well, they are also taking care of the viruses and everything, but then they're also fighting your own tissue. So in SLE, the autoimmunity occurs in your connective tissue.
So it's more of a self-destructive within your body.
Exactly, it is. It's your own immunity fighting you through the connective tissue, and it affects quite a number of organs.
Is there a specific reason behind that self-destruction of your own immune system?
As if to maybe say, is there a cause to it?
Yeah, is there a cause to it?
There's no known cause. So far, there's no known cause as to why people end up having SLE. Instead, what we have seen is there seems to be a correlation, a genetic correlation, in that chances are if someone in your family has SLE, there is likely to be another who will get down the line.
So it's more of a hereditary?
Genetic predisposition.
Genetic
predisposition, yeah.
Yeah, so how was your first experience and can you describe how you felt when you realized something was wrong?
So I've lived with lupus for over 3 decades, over 30 years. And previously, and I was in primary school then.
When you discovered you had lupus?
Yes, when there were all these anomalies, I would be extremely fatigued and I couldn't tell why. Sometimes I would wake up and it's as if I have just come from tilling land. You are so tired, it doesn't feel like you've been resting. Okay. And then I would sometimes get very high fevers, headaches, and on occasion, some really strange joint pains that happen simultaneously on the different sides of the body. Yeah, so these are the things that I was initially subjected to. And eventually, we went through a number of misdiagnoses. We thought it was malaria.
Yeah,
typhoid.
probably.
Yes, malaria, especially when you're from Western.
The joints.
The joint, with joint pain.
Automatically it becomes malaria.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was all this, but then they were like, it was happening a lot more often. It was so frequent. And I was getting so much sore throats and infections, and the doctors even at some point thought it was rheumatoid arthritis. It wasn't. They thought so many things, and eventually, from the clinical presentation, I was given a lupus diagnosis. Clinical presentation, I mean by how I was presenting myself and what I was telling the doctor and the symptoms that could be detected. You have a fever. We can see your fingers are swollen. Your joints are stiff. Yeah. But ultimately, it took a very definitive tests to be able to tell me for sure that I had SLE.
So can you describe how you felt when you received your first SLE diagnosis? What was your reaction? How did you feel? Were you aware of SLE at that time? Because you said you have been living with SLE for 3 decades. So how was your first reaction? How did you take it?
So it was a mixed reaction. There was a part of me that was relieved to know what I have been going through all this while. You know, we had been shooting in the dark. We didn't really know what was going on for a while. And then now getting to know that, you know what, you have gone through an autoantibody tests, autonuclear antibody tests, and it has turned out positive. And that is one of the almost positive indications that somebody has SLE. And also I had done the double-stranded anti-DNA tests. I did quite a number of those antibody panel tests. I also did a C-reactive protein tests. It shows how much inflammation is going on in your system. And then there is the common one, ESR. ESR can be positive for almost anything though, but still they will do it just to check. So getting to know that I had lupus was both a good thing and a bad thing. It was good in that I finally got to know what has been ailing me all this time. And now we are no longer groping in the dark. But then again, it really wore me down because I was suddenly having to deal with this new animal, this systemic lupus erythematosus, which I had no clue what it really means and what it was going to now do into my life progressively.
Yeah.
So
before you had lupus, were you aware of what lupus was?
No, I had no idea until I was finally told you have lupus. I had never heard of the word lupus in my life.
Okay, yeah. So for you being a lupus survivor, what are the misconceptions that are there in lupus in general?
So the first thing that I have dealt with throughout the years is people sometimes wonder when they get to know that you have lupus, if at all it's contagious. And some will tell you that it's contagious and, whatever it is. But lupus is not contagious. Lupus is just your own immunity going haywire. It's nothing to do with the fact that you have sat near somebody with lupus or you have drunk from the same cup with somebody who has lupus.
What about blood transfusion? Can it be contagious through blood transfusion and other stuff like that? Because if it's not contagious through airborne, what about blood transfusion?
I actually don't know about that. That's an interesting question. I don't know if it is contagious through a blood transfusion, but I don't think so. I think some of these things, blood transfusions are able to extract either specific components of blood that you need. I don't know.
If according to my thinking, the white blood cells are the ones that protect us, technically. So they are contained in blood. So if I transfuse my blood to yours, I'll be giving you all the contents within my blood to your body.
Well,
or it's more of now they'll have found a new enemy to fight.
Well, it's a more complex system than just blood cells, and it's blood is quite a complex system of different properties, and when you see them looking for specific autoantibodies, these are specific. Yes, it's not just the white blood cells, it's not just the red blood cells, it's not just the lymphocytes, it's not just the plasma. There are other complex things in the system. So, yeah. But we can explore this further and maybe we can share with our viewers whatever information we find through our description.
I think that's a more complex
it's a little bit more complex
topic.
Yes.
And I think we should discuss that after the short break that we'll be taking. And we'll be back with more in Beyond Conditions, the lupus edition.
Yes, sure. See you soon. How lupus attacks the body is that it goes for any organ, as opposed to many other autoimmune disorders which are more targeted towards a specific organ. lupus will attack the lungs, it will attack the heart, it will attack the brain.